it's that time once again. I usually struggle trying to remember what week we're in because so much is happening, but it's week 10. It's week 10 of the NFL season. We're back for our Stone Cold Lead Pipe Locks. And unfortunately, I have to do the rankings here just so everybody knows where we're at. But with me tonight is Mr. Brown, Canadian Biggie. Gentlemen, you guys feeling good about picks this week?
I think I'm going to bounce back. Wasn't I the worst?
You were the only one
week?
under 500 last week.
Yeah.
I had two really bad weeks, and then I've had 2 straight weeks where I'm like 1 over 500. I'm feeling like a 500 week. I don't think I'm doing anything special.
I'm the same.
Overall, though, who's ahead, me or Mongo?
So I'm going to ring up the rear here. I'm number 5 at 59 and 72. Mongo and Turbo Tommy are not with us. So as we go through it, it's Biggie. You're actually 4th now.
Oh, my God, that's depressing.
You are 62 and 66, so you're almost 500. So that says a lot. Tommy is over. Turbo is 66 and 63. And then, so you are number 2. No, Mongo's number 2. He is 69 and 64. So you're number 1, Mr. Brown, 68 and 62.
There you go, fellas.
But you were 6 and 8 last week.
That's right.
So that's all right. You're the baseball guy. Feel good about it. I know.
Soak it in, man.
We have 2 people ranked in the top 100 when it comes to Pick Watch. You can follow along every week at pickwatch.com. Not only the We Don't Know Sports crew, but anybody from any publication. So when we talk about our ranking, we're saying amongst everybody, and most specifically Maurice Jones-Drew for some reason. We like to call him out. He's doing good, though.
I know I do. I always call him out because that's the only one I know that's on there.
It's the only name you recognize. Tim Calishaw's on there.
Yeah.
But he sucks.
I want Jones-Drew.
You want MJD.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
I bet you got bigger calves.
I bet I do.
You might. He's no Jerome Bettis. But with that being said, we're hoping to right the ship here, and all of us do above 500. But we do have the Thursday night game on in the background. It is a...
Currently 10-3 Carolina ahead of Chicago. Second quarter.
Bears team at home. Did we all get on this game at 3.5?
I took the Bears to cover at 3.5.
I also took the Bears to cover.
I did as well.
All right, so we're no lone wolves out of the gate. Well, we'll see how that changes. There's only 3 of us this week, so I'm predicting a little howl at the moon here.
This is going to be a little fun. I'm kind of excited, fellas.
You're excited. Feel these nipples.
Exactly.
All right, so we're going to go through these. And the first game, I believe we're back in Germany.
Yes, sir.
This is your New England Patriots technically.
This is the Bill Belichick game. If you don't win, he's getting fired.
He might get
That's how I love the
fired.
social media.
Every time they show a picture of Bob Kraft in the press box, it's always like, I wonder.
He has to win this game, Chad.
That's the conversation with his son
right.
every week. So, Biggie, your Patriots are technically the home team, but the let me go on the spread, not the favor, or just the pick 'em here. All right, so it's a 2-point spread. The Colts are the favorite, 76% of the money coming in on Vegas. Or coming in from Vegas. Let me say that again. 78% of the money coming in on the Indianapolis Colts to cover this game by 2 points. Mr. Brown.
Oh, I'm going Colts all day. This is clear. I want to see if Belichick really gets fired. I'm kind of excited.
So on our main show, we had a big discussion about if Belichick's going to be on New England's staff next year. So make sure you check that out. But Biggie, this is your squad.
You know what Liberty lovers love?
Liberty lovers love
visiting spots that they helped liberate. Germany is one of those. Bostonians running down there. They're going to run wild. They're going to have their Spencer with their Gretzel and the caramelized onions. They're eating Liberty steaks. And they're going to drink some Fanta while they roll in on a Volkswagen. The Patriots do one thing correctly. They don't lose to the Colts. Patriots with the dub.
So he's taking the Patriots. I appreciate the homerism. I'm going with the Colts. I'm not even going to require a lone wolf here because what you did to start us off, it's all downhill from here. We're not going to get back to that level right off the gate. Biggie, bring in the pain, bring in the thunder. He's the lone wolf on the Patriots. And I can't say anything to combat that. You took my mojo. We just got to move on. I got to leave that one lie where it is. The Houston Texans, the C.J. Stroud dropping dimes and 5 titties. He's leading the Texans on the road, but they're going to Cincinnati, who's not going to have T. Higgins. But the Bengals, who've been hot lately, are a 6.5-point home favorite, and 74% of the money is on Cincinnati.
Oh, you want me to go first?
Go. I'll close it.
So, as much as I love CJ, somebody woke up Joey. So, the Bengals are going to roll here. They're going to win by at least 10. And that's all I got to say about that.
Absolutely loved it. This game's at 6.5 and not 7 because the Bengals are a touchdown to 10 point better. 4-0 over the last 4 games. Joe Burrow's playing out of his world. Same thing they do every year. Start a little slow and then get hot. I'm Joe Burrow. I'm Joe Cool. I do my thing. The Texans fight like hell. I like this game to stay close and not be a blowout, but I think that they drop back to just a little bit this week off of that high from last week. Give me the Bengals at home.
I appreciate you saying that. It's kind of coming off the high, right? It was a big win. It was, come back and all that. What was it, 38-35 or whatever?
They didn't even. I thought he at least had something different to say.
He did. We didn't even
39-37.
There you go. Thank you.
The Bucks still got the road cover. Thank you.
We didn't even talk about this on the show, though, was that they had to go to a kicker that was like a running back.
That was amazing.
First man since Wes Welker in 2004 with the Miami Dolphins, non-kicker to kick a field goal in the game.
Yeah, and it was the difference in the game. So for everything you talked about, the come down from last week is going to be real. The Bengals are moving in the right direction. And, I think even without T. Higgins, they're going to be fine because all of a sudden they decided to use tight ends last week. So give me the Bengals to cover at home. We're across the board here. All right. Can't believe that. I feel like the Bengals are back. I'm trying not to get too excited. Josh Dobbs we didn't talk about. What a heroic game. Didn't even know his teammates' names. He just shows up and wins game. We were impressed by Baker Mayfield last year showing up in L.A. This trumps that, right? 100%? He's nodding in your head, yes. I need a microphone response.
They were making plays up in the huddle. As they were counting down the play clock, KOC, Kevin O'Connell, was breaking down the play and the route so that he could call it in the huddle and know where his guys were going to be. Josh Dobbs wasn't expected to play. He got traded there on Tuesday. Starting QB, rookie from BYU, goes out in the first series. Josh Dobbs rolls in, leads him down the field in a 2-minute warning, runs it in for a touchdown. The only thing that he did wrong was he said, oh, fuck yeah, he's in Minnesota now, and Midwestern nice. They say frick up there.
Yeah, oh, crap. That's what you say. All right, so the game this week, Josh Dobbs, who might know the playbook and some of his teammates' names now, they're at home, but they're the dog, 3 points. The Saints coming in, and I feel like the Saints are going to be in a 3-point spread the rest of the damn year. It's just how they play. 53% of the money thinks the Saints are going to cover.
Yeah, I'm going with the Saints here because with Dobbs, he had that, hangover after the concussion, after what just went down with him. Coming in there like that, it's like a car crash. Coming in there and trying to learn the playbook and all that.
He's surviving the car crash?
So he came in as high, and he's on, now he's coming off of it. So he's going to be in a rude awakening. And Taysom Hill and Carr probably going to just tag team him this week.
Okay.
Saints offense has been rolling since Kamara got back into the fold. 27 points a game over their last 5. Going into Minnesota, they've won 4 straight games. Josh Dobbs, Miracle Man, Rocket Scientist, Rocket Engineer, Big Head, no eyebrows, Skull. They win this game by 11 points, 24-13.
11 points. Wow. Wow. I'm not going to require a Lone Wolf again. He was so passionate about that. I'll let him yell Skull here. I'm taking the Saints.
We got to hear it.
I'm taking the Saints. And,
I want to hear a Lone Wolf.
I think it's probably a push, but I think they win a close game. And I think once now that it's not just playing football and you got to do it for a whole game, Dobbs ain't going to be able to do the schoolyard routine twice a night.
I want to hear a Lone Wolf.
Skull!
That was good enough for me. All right, the Packers, who nobody had faith in last week. We didn't realize Stafford wasn't going to be playing. But the Packers with a big home win. But they're a dog here against a team that always seems to find a way to win. But no one likes them that well. The Steelers are a 3-point home favorite. And 82% of the money is riding the Steelers.
Oh, this
hate this game, right?
This is terrible. Terrible, like Chuck. I'm going to go with Steelers just because I got to pick somebody, and I'm going to go with the home team in that home field environment there.
Easy pick this week. You take the Steelers at home to cover this. They'll win by 7. The only game Green Bay has looked remotely competitive in and won in the last 7 weeks is at home against a team with a third-string quarterback. They had to go out and sign Carson Wentz. They're so damn bad. They're in a complete rebuild. Remember, this Green Bay team went into Denver and lost to them also. Give me the Steelers. Mike Tomlin rallies the troops.
I also have the Steelers. I think they win this one probably by about double digits. I think Green Bay, man, they don't play well when they play good defenses, and Pittsburgh has a good defense, and it's just going to be an uphill battle for them. And maybe, just maybe, George Pickens might be friends on Instagram with Kenny Pickett again by the time this game's over. That might be that type of game. So we're across the board there. We followed the money with Vegas. This one, Tampa, man, they're at home. 66% of the money is riding Tampa. What's wrong?
Oh, I thought he went Packers. Sorry.
No. You're trying to mess me up here.
I think go Packers.
I had a brain fart. Sorry.
That's okay. All right. The Tampa Bay Bucks at home, only getting 1 point against the Titans. Will Levis playing at quarterback for the Titans last time I saw. 66% of the money on Tampa, though.
So I am taking the Titans in this one. I feel like you got Derrick Henry doing his thing. I have more faith in Will Levis than I have in Baker. So I'm going to take the Titans to actually win in Tampa.
You know this, Brown. You almost stole my thunder because typically I'd roll with the Fighting Mike Vrabel. So the fact they've been in sell mode, thinking about getting rid of Derrick Henry, they're not giving him all the carries. They're easing in Will Levis, who Mr. Mayo is going to turn out to be a good pro. Give me Baker Mayfield. He's a cover machine this year at home.
Again, Biggie said it all for me. I'm taking Baker Mayfield to come back and get the W here. They should have won last week. His defense couldn't stop C.J. Stroud. And I think Tennessee with Will Levis, it was a nice story in 1 week. I'd like to see it continue, but I don't think he gets the win here. So I'm also with Tampa Bay. So I don't know what a lone Titan does.
What the hell does a Titan do? Any idea?
You got to figure it out. You're on the clock. Go.
Oh, Jesus.
Do something.
I'm thinking of like Urban Cowboy.
Why Urban Cowboy?
They're more like Oilers than like Titans. No.
They're drilling something.
Come on back to me, sissy.
We'll let that connection be something that happened. I don't know if it's right, but I follow your logic somehow.
It's Urban Cowboy.
That was ridiculous. All right, so I'll tell you what, we're going to do this, and then we've picked up more people when we've been doing the picks. I got to let Biggie go first. He's on point here.
Okay.
So we're going to go Biggie's going to pick first as we, I think, close out the we got 2 more 1 o'clock games. This is a big one. San Francisco, but they're coming off a bye, making the trip out. Or no, they're not off the bye. They are off the bye, but they're making the trip out east. So, 1 o'clock start time, East Coast, Jacksonville. 3 points, though, in favor for the Giants, or I said Giants because of San Francisco. 3 points in favor of them, even though they're on the road, 59% of the money, saying that they're not going to repeat this losing streak and somehow cover about 3. So break it down for us, Biggie.
2 teams coming off buys. The difference here is the Niners. Typical, hypothetical. What do you do with these sayings? Oh, our back's against the wall. We just had a Chase Young. We had a week off to get healthy. Brock Purdy is who he thought he was. Guess what happens this week? He gets his offensive line back healthy. He gets Debo back healthy. He gets the defense back healthy. And I think the better of these 2 coaches, even though he doesn't have a Super Bowl under his belt, is Kyle Shanahan. I think the Niners walk in there. Now, I normally don't like 1 o'clock East Coast start times for West Coast teams. I'm saying the Niners win this game by at least 10 points down there.
Wow. So you're telling me the team with the best quarterback is an underdog at home? I'm taking the team with the best quarterback. Give me the Jags all day long. Right there.
When I look at this game and when we talk about everybody coming back from injury, we talk about having a bye week. I don't know if I'd go as far as saying he's the best coach, but I can see your argument. I think we see Brock Purdy return to what we've seen in the past. He's going to have that full barrage of weapons. And I think this is a statement game for San Francisco to show that they're still a contender here in the NFC. So give me the Niners to cover.
Nice.
Sassy. All right, moving on. A rivalry game in the best division in all of the NFL, the AFC North. The Browns going into their former Browns, the Ravens, who are getting 6.5 at home. They're the favorite. 63% of the money riding the AFC North leading Baltimore Ravens.
Vegas is going to make a lot of money off this game because everybody's riding the Ravens. While they do win, they do not cover. You got the Browns with the third best defense in the league. Sean Watson's back playing this week. He looked well last week. Mr. Butthole. He's got Amari Cooper.
He said Mr.
Kareem
Butthole.
Hunt's looking like he did when he played for the Chiefs. This is a week where the Ravens come back to earth just a little bit. They still win. Browns cover.
You're saying Browns cover.
He's taking the Browns.
Browns cover. Browns cover.
Keebler Elves for the win.
Wow. All right, so after all that, this is the toughest division in football
It
this
is. It is.
year. And I love what the Browns are doing on the defensive side, but I love the Ravens, man. They're blowing my mind. So I'm going the Ravens to cover here. If it was anyone else, I would have taken the Browns here.
Yeah, Browns are scrappy. They're in every freaking game, but I think the Ravens are going to – they're like the team that's peaking too early, and you're getting the best form of them right now. And the question that we always say, is it going to hold up?
Right.
Lamar's an MVP.
Is it too early?
Yeah, and can it sustain? I think it sustains right now. I think they get this win and they get it big. I think it's going to be similar to those last 2 weeks we've seen out of the Ravens where they've just kind of walked people. So I'm taking the Ravens also to cover that big 6.5 point home spread.
Kids say the darndest things.
You got to do a lone wolf. What was that?
I just did. I picked the Browns.
Why does they say kids say, oh, you're doing Bill Cosby? He's doing Bill Cosby because of Deshaun Watson. I had to make the connection. Only I could probably figure that out.
Give me a pudding pop.
It's like Rain Man shit.
It's funny to me. All right, the Atlanta Falcons on the road to the Arizona Cardinals. We got Kyler Murray back. Is Connor back too?
Mr. Brown, is Connor back?
They're still up in the
All
air.
right, so we're not sure about him, but we are sure
I'm
that
planning him out. Let's put it that way.
the Falcons are a 1.5 point road favorite here coming into the returning calamari. 61% is on the ATL.
As you know, there's one team we don't like to bet. What team is that?
It's the Arizona Cardinals.
Well,
And the Atlanta Falcons. I think both of these.
Atlanta. Here's the thing. I have to take the Falcons to cover here by default. No Connor back. Kyler Murray's first game in a year. They finally switched to Taylor Heineke. They put some points up last week. The defense couldn't hold late. They won't have that problem this week. Give me a Kyle Pitts offensive touchdown
Ooh.
and a Falcons cover.
See, I'm going Cardinals all the way. I don't care what. He comes out there, he's way better than what the Falcons have at quarterback. So give me Kyler. Connor still could play. It hasn't been announced yet. Either way, they got a DeMarcado or whatever from TCU. So give me the Cardinals to do their thing at home. They're going to win this game.
You very well could be right, and if you are, you're the only one that's going to predict that because I think the Cardinals have already cashed in their season. Everyone knows they don't care. When they got rid of Dobbs, I know you had Kyler Murray coming back, but you wanted your backup, and now you're just like, nah, we'll trade him in the middle of the season. They have no interest in winning, and they're going to keep Kyler Murray on a restricted play selection and everything. It's not going to be a creative offense. Give me the Falcons to cover on the road. So you're on your own, Mr. Brown. I thought you were trying to do the Hunger Games for a second. All right, the Detroit Lions. We're on the 4 o'clock window, by the way. Detroit Lions going out to the West Coast. L.A., the Chargers, not San Diego. Should be, though. The Chargers, even though they're at home, nobody likes them. The favorites go into the Lions, and 78% of the money's following that pick.
This is Detroit's chance to prove they belong. They had this spot earlier in the year. I said bet the mortgage on them. They went out to Baltimore, laid a complete egg, down 28-0. They pooped all over themselves. They've had a little chance to recover and think about the mistake that they made. They're going out. This will be a de facto home game for them. It is it every time a team goes into L.A., whether it's the Rams or Chargers. Chargers win, but not impressively. The Lions unlocked Jahmyr Gibbs over the last couple games. I like the Lions for the cover.
I think this is an easy one. I think the Lions roll here. I don't really have much to say.
It's kind of a prove it in two different ways for both teams. I'm also with the Lions because I feel like their offense is just clicking now. That you're right. They got woke up by Baltimore, and honestly, the Chargers are 4-4.
Yes.
I mean, so they need this to show that they matter. But I think the Lions just get it done. I think the Lions are one of the best two teams in the NFC right now. So we're across the board there. We'll go to see if we're across the board here. This is the biggest spread I remember seeing in some time, gentlemen. Are you ready for this? 17 points. The Dallas Cowboys are 17-point home favorites, and 70% of the money thinks that they will cover 17 points.
What was the score when they played the first time this year?
It was more than 17.
It was 40-0.
Is that what it was? It was
Dak
bad.
had like 7 fantasy points in that game.
Yes.
As Mr. Brown can testify, Dak's been playing well lately.
He's just a yard short, buddy.
And the Giants, however possible it is, have gotten worse. I can't believe I'm doing this, but I'm happily, with no worries, taking a 17-point cover.
So you take Dallas.
Dallas.
Oh, wow. Like, I have Dak on fantasy, and I don't even think this is real. I'm taking the Giants to cover. I think Dak will put up points, but I think it'll be back and forth because Dallas always plays down to their competition, except for last time against the Giants.
I hate this spread being the size it is because it's like a bad college game. Like it's like the favorite team should win, but it's a rivalry, so you're not 100% sure, and you don't want to bet a lot of money on it. But I'm just taking the Cowboys because I don't know who's the quarterback for the Giants.
Danny Dimes.
Oh,
No, I'm
he's
sorry.
hurt.
It's
for the year.
Tommy DeVito.
Yeah,
Danny DeVito's nephew.
Yeah, the DeVito era it begins now. It might end now too, but I don't know who he is. Don't have any faith. Give
He's
me
not
Dallas.
any good.
I'm taking Dallas.
Wow.
B5-0-FUM.
That's confidence right there.
I'm still in first place despite what these dumb motherfuckers pick.
That didn't rhyme.
I know, but it felt good.
It was mean. All right. The Washington Commanders on the road to Seattle, who's been struggling here to look like a first-place team. They've lost a couple games here, and they're a 6.5-point home favorite regardless, though, because Washington, we just don't know. They played out well last week, though. 64% of the money's got Seattle to cover this by at least 6.5 at home.
Here's the thing. Washington didn't play well last week. They played New England, who isn't any good. Seattle went out to Baltimore last week. What happened? They got beat badly. That's what Baltimore does to teams early in the season. What Geno do? Played sloppy, like I told you he had been playing. But Seattle, at home, off a bad loss with a great coach like Pete Carroll and a talented young roster, I like them to cover this 6.5 points for you.
I'm going Seattle as well. I love the fact it's going to be a high-scoring game between both teams, but I think Seattle wins this one going away.
Yeah, this is one of those games Seattle has to get, and I think they are a team that will be competitive for those playoff spots come into season. I think they get this one done, man. They win. They get back on track. Washington offloaded their defensive line, so, I mean, I don't see them playing well against good teams. That's going to be their thing all year. So give me the Seahawks. We're across the board. That's a big spread. I was reading about how Pete Carroll is, 72?
Yes.
And the players are talking about him like they think he's 50. Like they
He
don't
gets
realize
out there
how-
in freaking training camp and runs 7-on-7 drills with him as quarterback.
It's insane. Like they really think he's like 20 years younger. So I'm taking the youth and the exuberance. Let's roll with that. All right, so this is the garbage-ass Sunday night game. The Jets, 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 and the Raiders and I'm rubbing my eyes. Do I see this correctly? Is this exactly what this is? It's a pick 'em. There is no spread. It is just pick the winner. The Raiders are getting 64% of the money.
I got to tell you, I saw this video, Antonio Pierce, and it made me think back. Remember that really popular 90s rap song from, I believe it was Ice Cube, rolling down the road, the My 6'4"? You know who drives the 6'4", Paul? Antonio Pierce. He is the perfect fit to be the Raiders head coach. You look at how excited they were, like Ms. Brown was saying earlier, celebrating in the locker room, that Josh McDaniels isn't there. It's a talented squad that needed a guy they wanted to play for. They have that guy now, and Zach Wilson is an abomination. Give me the Raiders at home.
I mean, to me, it's hilarious to see that it's a pick 'em and the Raiders are at home after what you just saw last week. And you're trying to say that's a slap in the face after what they just did. So the Raiders are going to roll back-to-back weeks here because, they're making a point now with this because this is the first time they've had a minority head coach, GM, and
Tom Brady over at
president of operations.
Yeah, they have a female who is their
my point.
President of operations, right?
Yeah. First time.
So you take the Raiders.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. Just making
Clearly.
sure.
Clearly.
All right, I also have the Raiders. One, you just take a home team and a pick 'em. That's just usually what works. And two, I think the Jets might have a case to be the best defense in the NFL because their offense is so bad. They have some. Maybe they're just playing where they have to, but it's not enough here. They don't get it done. And I'm with you, man. Like Zach Wilson, he flashed for a second, and everybody was like, "Oh wow, maybe it's rubbing off being in the same quarterback room as Aaron Rodgers." Didn't rub off enough. You're right. He's trash. All right.
I like it.
Monday night.
Wins across the board.
We're across the board on the Raiders.
Wow.
We believe in Pierce and his sixfold, as Biggie put it.
That's right.
The Broncos going into Buffalo. This is like a do or die game for Buffalo. It feels like nobody believes in the Broncos, but they put that spread high, right at a 7. You feel like the Bills should win by 7, but you're not really sure because they keep laying these eggs. 70% of the money, though, thinks that Buffalo will get this done at 7.
What Chris Berman used to always say, nobody rallies the wagons.
Nobody
like the Buffalo
circles
Bills.
the wagons quite like the Buffalo Bills.
Well, that was when Jim Kelly and Marv Levy were running that ship. Here's the thing. Over the last month, the Broncos, who I love to crap on because they gave up 70 points, have been playing a lot better football. They've won their last 2 games going into the bye that they had before coming into Buffalo. Buffalo has continued to disappoint us all season long. Josh Allen either plays like he's the best quarterback on the planet or like he is mentally
He's a turnover machine right now.
unstable. He does one of those two. I think he goes mentally unstable in this game. The Bills win. Broncos get the cover.
I think the Bills have to make a statement here because I feel like they're at the stage where we've been talking about Josh Allen for how long, and now if he don't progress to the next level, they're ready to burn the city down. That's where we're at. But we're tired of talking about it. Right? So let's do it. But I don't think he's there. But they'll win this week because he has to. It puts it off for another week.
I think Josh Allen is our Phillip Rivers of this generation. He's going to be that guy that's always on a good team. They're always capable of winning a lot, but they just never quite get it done. And we're just early in the stages of accepting that, where we became numb over time to Phillip Rivers. We're starting to become numb to Josh Allen. But again, they trick you sometimes, and this is a game where I think they have to have it. They're back at home. I think they trick us because they win this one pretty big. And the Broncos remind us that they're still the Broncos. And it's probably like a 9 to 10 point game, so I'm taking the Bills. That was like the horse from Sleepy Hollow.
Wow.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that does it for our Week 10 NFL Stone Cold Lead Pipe Locks. I don't like any of these games. Usually there's some games I feel really good about. I cleaned out on Afternoon Parlay last week, but there's nothing here. If you had to give me one game you were most confident in, what would you say?
I'm saying the Raiders pick him for me.
You like that one?
Absolutely.
I'm really high on the Niners game.
I like the Steelers at home.
So we all have different ones that we feel pretty strong about. But there's not a lot that I do. It's a short list, I'll say that. We don't get the Chiefs. We don't get the Dolphins because they're coming back from Germany. I was seeing something where some of those people on the staff, they didn't make it back till like Tuesday.
Well, they're playing it held up.
Something happened, yeah.
That was the Chiefs plane, right?
It was
Because
the
Andy Reid,
Chiefs.
he took the regular Chiefs plane loaded with German food to bring back.
That's what it was. They had to go back. You
Brought Yetis and
it was like the plane ride from hell. But we look forward to seeing those offenses come back. But we got some maligned offenses this week, so hopefully they right the ship and we get these spreads covered. But we'll see you guys next week. Make sure you subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. Make sure you check out the main show on our interview with Zach Ford, the author of the newly published Called Up. But we'll see you next weekend. Enjoy your NFL games. And make sure you wake up early on Sunday because we're back in Germany. And we'll be back next week to go over all the Thanksgiving games and whatnot. Can't wait. Until next time, bye-bye.